Hello and welcome to video 2. In this video I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the device. The Teenage Engineering EP-40 Riddim is both a sequencer and a sampler. Although it appears to be biased heavily towards making reggae music, it can in fact be used for all types. At the moment it comes bundled with the EP-2350 Ting effects microphone. I will cover that in a subsequent video as that can be used with other devices, not just the Riddim. I would definitely advise getting to know the Riddim's quirky but fun operating system via my videos before you start making any serious music on it. You'll definitely benefit from this advice, believe me. Let's talk about the physical qualities of this device. It's light, it's very portable, and it's well constructed, and it appears to be made of durable plastic. I keep mine in the Teenage Engineering shoulder bag, which I showed you in my unboxing video. As far as the dimensions go, it's 9.5 inches this way. The width is 6.93 inches, and the height is just 0.63 of an inch, not including the knobs. It looks like a very large calculator. It only weighs 1.36 pounds, which is 620 grams. It's a very lightweight piece of kit. Let's have a look at the top of the device where you've got all the ins and the outs. First up, we've got the output. This is a stereo mini jack socket, and you obviously use this to plug the Riddim into your sound system or to plug your headphones in. Next along we have the input, same type of plug needed there, stereo mini jack. This is for plugging other things into it. You can play things through the Riddim speaker. This is used for sampling as well. Then we've got sync in and out. This is for syncing up things like the Teenage Engineering pocket operators. Again, it's the same type of plugs. MIDI in and out. These are going to be the TRS type of cables. Further along we have the ubiquitous these days USB-C socket. You need this of course to hook this up to your computer, and you need it if you want to power the Riddim from a USB device, of course. I use my USB hub that's plugged into my Mac. And then we have this very stiff power switch, and if you turn this thing on or off, you need to brace the machine as you push this switch along because it is quite stiff. The unit can be powered by 4 AAA batteries, and they live under this compartment here. You know, you can flip that off and put them in there. I've got rechargeable batteries and they don't work in this, and I've yet to try it with some proper Duracell batteries, but be warned, I put my fully charged rechargeable batteries in this and it didn't work, so I'm not quite sure why that is. So on the top right we have this built-in speaker, and there's a microphone here. The speaker is nothing special, but I guess it's okay as a low volume reference. There is a very colourful and icon-rich display which delivers a great deal of information to the user. At the moment, none of these things are lit up, but you know, once you start pressing buttons and playing the sequencer, you'll see various things light up. You'll be able to find out what all these icons represent in the online manual on the Teenage Engineering site, but I'll be talking about them as we go anyway. There are 3 rotary knobs here. These are not endless, they have a stop to them. This one here is pretty obviously for turning the thing up and down, the main volume knob. The orange X knob is used for many things, mainly for changing the tempo, and the green Y knob also has several functions, including controlling the metronome and the time correction, the quantization if you like. But as I say, these 2 knobs do quite a few things. There is a single vertical fader here. You'll see things changing in the display as I move that up and down. This can change a number of parameters such as level, pan, pitch, etc. Different parameters can be assigned to this fader by holding the fader button just above it and then one of these pads. You can see they all come up with a different parameter. So if you want to assign the level or the volume to the fader, hold button 7 and that's level. Now this will control the level, and you can see it goes from 0 to 100. There is a minus and plus button down here for increasing or decreasing values, plus accessing different parts of the device and much more. Lots of these buttons and knobs do lots and lots of different things, and you'll find that as you get deeper into it. The green play button down here doubles as a stop button, so you press play and press it again to stop, and there is a dedicated record button here. Now there are several flat buttons for primary functions like sound, main, tempo, effects, erase, fader I've already mentioned. We've got keys, we've got a shift button down here, and the shift button accesses everything which is written below the main function buttons. So if you want edit, you hold shift and sound. If you want commit, you hold shift and main. If you want loop, you hold shift and tempo. And chop, correct, output and system are also accessed by holding shift and the appropriate button here. Obviously I'm going to show you all of this eventually. This is just, like I say, an overview. Now the EP-40, that's what this thing is called. Some people call it Riddim, some people call it the EP-40. This device has 4 group buttons which are known as A, drums, B, bass, C, melodic, and D, sound effects. As I press each group button, it lights above it, and in the display you will see the group letter name, A, and which pattern it's on. So A, B, C, and D. These buttons have easily identifiable icons. This one's got a drum on it, this one's got a bass guitar, this one, I think these are keys, and I couldn't tell you what this is. So those are the 4 groups, A, B, C, D. So for the time being, we'll call them drums, bass, melodic, and sound effects. There are 12 touch sensitive pads. Some of them have got numbers on. This one's got enter on it, this one's got this orange square, and you'll find out about that orange square a bit later on in this video. Now these 12 pads are where you store your samples or your synth sounds for playing and recording, and I'll be showing you more of that a bit later on in this video as well. You can have a completely different set of 12 samples or synth sounds for each of the 4 groups in any project. Because you've got numbers here, this is obviously a numerical keypad as well. And as I've already shown you, you hold fader and these pads to assign parameters to the fader here. So over here on the left, underneath the volume knob, you've got this keys button. And what this does, it enables the keys mode whereby the 12 pads can be used to play a single sound in a chosen scale and key. The pad which is at the bottom left, this pad with the orange symbol on it, that's the lowest note that you will play, and the pad with number 9 on it will play the highest note. And I'll show you all this in a while, but for the moment just that is keys mode. And you'll know if you're in keys mode if you press it, this keys icon lights. So we're now in keys mode, and then if I press the keys button again, that light goes out and we're back in standard kind of mode. In this mode, you can have each pad playing a different sample or synth sound. And by the way, if you're in keys mode, you can access the sounds via a MIDI keyboard which you could plug in. Let's talk about the workflow. At the top of the file hierarchy is the project. The device can have 9 projects available at any one time, but only 1 at a time can be booted up for use. So if you want to boot up a project, you hold the main button down and you've got these 9 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you want to boot up project number 2, you hold main and then keep pressing button 2 until it says P2, and now project 2 will be loaded up into the machine. If you boot up project 9, hold main and 9, you'll find this is completely empty, ready for you to start recording your first project, but you can delete all of the projects if you want to. It's a simple matter to hook up to the Teenage Engineering website to restore the factory content, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. I'll go through all the Teenage Engineering software for this device. I would advise working with the factory content as you learn the machine. You can always trash it later. So each project can have 99 patterns and 99 scenes on each of these 4 groups, and each pattern can have 99 bars, so 99 is a key number on this device. The scenes can be arranged into a song. On my Teenage Engineering Medieval, which is a similar device to this, I can't make songs. I have to call up the scenes manually, which is a real pain. So like I said earlier, in any project, the 4 groups A, B, C and D can have 12 different samples assigned to these 12 pads, and those can be different for each of these 4 groups. So you can have up to 48 samples or synth sounds per project, which should be plenty. Inside the machine there are 999 slots for samples. Now 899 of those have already been assigned from the factory, but you can erase those if you want to. The other 100 are there ready for you to put your own on, so they're empty. You can fill up the machine completely with your own samples and trash the factory ones if you want to, but like I say, I wouldn't do that right from the get-go. You can record samples yourself, or you can import samples from somewhere like Splice, I guess. The onboard sample memory is fairly small, it's 128 megabyte, but it doesn't really seem to matter for this kind of machine. And I'll talk about recording your own samples in another video. Now, the 899 onboard factory samples comprise the following groups. 1 to 99 are kicks, 100 to 199 are snares, 200 to 299 are cymbals, 300 to 399 are percussion samples, 400 to 499 are bass samples, 500 to 599 are leads, 600 to 699 are what they call skanks. These are kind of jabby chord things, you know, like organ wobble things and guitar jabs, piano jabs. 700 to 799 are vocal and effects, vocal shout-outs, things like that. 800 to 899 are loops, which are a very important part of this machine. And the final 900 to 99 are available to the user. Any samples or Supertone synth presets can be assigned to any pads in any groups. So these 4 icons are for guidance only. You could have any sample in any group on any pad. It's just that this is the way it's been set out from the factory, and it's probably not a bad thing to adhere to. So like I say, in addition, there are 10 iterations of the Supertone synthesizer, something that my Medieval doesn't have. This is the first of these machines to have its own built-in synth, and it's really good actually, as you'll find out in the subsequent videos. And presets from these can be assigned to pads instead of the samples, and the presets can be edited. Supertone sounds 0 to 6 are conventional synth sounds without any touch sensitivity, whereas the dub sirens, which are Supertone 7, 8 and 9, they intensify as you press harder. If you want to assign a Supertone synth sound, try saying that in a hurry, to a pad, you hold the sound button down and you press this lowest pad here, marked tune with this orange square on it. Now it comes up with SU. Now you can lift off. Now if you press number 4, you've now assigned Supertone 4. Let's say for sake of argument I'm in the drum group and I'm on this pad 4, and that's got sample 312 on it at the moment. If I want to assign a Supertone synth sound to that, I hold sound, this button here, and then whichever 1 to 9 I choose, let's choose 3. Now that pad will have Supertone synth 3. The other pads will be untouched, unchanged, but this one has got that on it. So that's a way of assigning a synth sound to a pad quickly. And by the way, when you've got a Supertone sound in focus, this blue, I call it police light, lights up. If I go to a sample, that goes out. Let's come back to that Supertone sound, and that blue lights up again. One of many icons which you can see, which will tell you what's happening. There are 7 different effects which can be used, but only one can be used at a time, which is a bit of a shame, but that's the way it is. The effects are, if I hold effects button down here, and if I use the minus and plus buttons, you can have the effect off, or you have it set to delay, reverb, distortion, chorus, filter, compressor, or phaser. But you can only have one of those at a time. It's global to the entire machine, all 4 groups, but in each group you can lower the level of it or turn it off completely. So you could have a melodic sound drenched in reverb and a completely dry bass. It's not a perfect world here, but it's not too bad. Considering what these things cost, I don't think it's too bad. In addition, there are 12 punch-in effects, which you get by holding the effects button down and these 12 pads while the sequence is running. And I keep saying this, I know, but I'll demonstrate this in another video, just so you know you can do that. There's an onboard metronome. You see it says metronome above the Y knob here, which can be used to guide timing whilst recording or playing live. And recorded notes can be quantized or time corrected, again using this green knob and this timing button. And you can do that while you're recording or after the fact. The EP-40 has a swing function available to it, and again it's the Y knob and the timing button underneath. You've got loads of different scales and modes that you can play these pads in, and in any key possible. So that's the end of this overview. I haven't covered everything. Rest assured I'll dig deeper into all of the EP-40's functions in subsequent videos. So thank you very much for watching.